welcome to Explore the Possibilities, brought to you by Visit Potter-Tioga. My name is Joshua Roth, and I am the Site Administrator of the Pennsylvania Lumber Museum in Potter County, Pennsylvania. And today I'd like to tell you a little bit about our annual Bark Peelers Festival. The first Bark Peelers Festival was held in 1975, and it was really the signature event after the founding of the museum in 1972. The Bark Peelers Festival takes its cues from traditions in history. Typically, bark peelers were peeling bark off of the hemlock tree to send the bark to tanneries to be used to make leather. And historically, all of the bark peelers that were working in Pennsylvania's forests worked hard to have all of the trees that were felled peeled by the July 4th holiday, at which time they would have a celebration, be paid, and leave the lumber camps, return home to visit with family and friends, and then eventually drift back into camp in the fall. I always tell people that Bark Peelers Festival is like the Disney World experience of the Lumber Museum. The entire site is open and alive for Bark Peelers Weekend. All of the exhibits are accessible. We pull the Shea locomotive out of its engine house building to have a better view of it in the sunlight out on the tracks in the lumber camp. We have demonstrators from a blacksmith working in the forge to camp cooks making things on the wood-fired stove in the lumber camp kitchen, to folks running our historic birch still. And the sawmill is also in operation on both days of the festival, on Saturday and Sunday. We have about 6 or 7 different volunteers between the upper level sawworks and the engine room down below, providing the steam power for all of the equipment that demonstrate the various pieces of equipment that are in the sawmill. Those demonstrations are really one of the biggest draws for any of the festivals that we have here at the museum. People love to see the antique machinery in operation. One of our board members is a professional horse logger, and he brings his team of horses to the museum grounds and will skid logs around the grounds and demonstrate how to use horses in logging. Horses were very important historically because they were how logs that were harvested on the mountainside were brought down to the valley bottom, where they could be picked up and taken to the mill via railroad or by floating down the rivers. In addition to that, we have food and craft vendors all across the site, lots of things to eat, lots of interesting things to look at or purchase if you're so inclined. We have hatchet throwing and an opportunity to use some wood hick tools like saws and bark spuds. And we also have a variety of wood hick contests that are open to the public. On Saturday, that's the grease pole contest and log rolling contest, which takes place on the ground with a team of people using tools called PVs. And Sunday, we have a 2-person crosscut saw competition that's timed for speed.
3, 2, 1, go!
And a log burling competition that's held on the museum log pond. That's 2 contestants on the end of a floating log, each trying to run in place and knock the other person off of the log into the water.
Oh, number 46!
If you want to sign up and participate, we have sign-up sheets near where the events are held on the festival grounds the day of the events. But if you're so inclined and you really want to make sure that you get your name in there for one of the events, you can certainly contact the museum at palumbermuseum@gmail.com. You send us your information and what contests you're interested in signing up for. We'll make sure that your name gets on the list. There are also contests for kids. There's a frog jumping contest and a seed spitting contest that the younger attendees can sign up and participate. Both are a lot of fun. We have a beautiful museum exhibit gallery here, which is also open the entire weekend of the festival. It's nice if it's a hot July day. Lots of folks like to come into the exhibit because it's air conditioned and it gives you a spot to cool off for a bit and learn a lot of the interesting history about lumbering and logging within this area of Pennsylvania. The Bark Peelers Festival is held annually the first full weekend in July. There are 3 different admission price categories for the festival. We have regular admission, which is anyone 12 years of age and up. Youth admission is ages 4 to 11. And then if you're interested in attending both days, we do have a 2-day pass for both adults and youth. We do offer museum memberships. It's one price for a year, and it covers your entire household. And if you're museum members, anybody in your household can come to the Bark Peelers event free of charge. If you want more information about the festival or the museum in general, you can visit our website, which is lumbermuseum.org. We also have a Facebook page that has lots of information on it. Or you're welcome to call the museum at 814-435-2652 or email us at palumbermuseum@gmail.com, and we will get back to you personally. For more information about the other amazing things to see and do in our area, go to visitpotter-tioga.com. On behalf of myself and all the other staff and volunteers at the Pennsylvania Lumber Museum, we look forward to seeing you attend this year's Bark Peelers Festival.